It appears that Nico wasn't entirely truthful about the Luka trade. A new report reveals that weeks before Luka was traded to LA, the Mavs contacted the Wolves to discuss a potential swap involving Luka and Anthony Edwards. The Wolves' answer was simple.
No. Hell no!
Wolves fans are unsure how to feel about this. They already have the face of their franchise, but would Luka have been an upgrade? The latest joke in NBA circles is that Nico was willing to trade Luka for anyone named Anthony. Anthony Lamb, Anthony Black, Cole Anthony. Any Anthony would have sufficed. So why did the Wolves instantly reject trading Anthony Edwards for Luka Doncic, and will they regret it? Let's discuss. This was Anthony Edwards' immediate reaction upon hearing about the trade.
They say that nobody knew about the trade. Yeah, so that's crazy.
The fact that the Wolves didn't leak this is wild. But in light of this new report, listen to Ant's words again and ask yourself, does he really sound like someone who had no idea this trade was discussed?
They say that nobody knew about the trade. Yeah, so that's crazy.
Anthony Edwards, a 23-year-old superstar, is already a 3-time All-Star and has led his team to the Western Conference Finals, all within just his 5th season.
Edwards. Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, baby. KD loves
Only to be defeated by none other than Luka Doncic.
Doncic fakes, bumps, fires,
The player the Mavs were now offering in a trade, but the Wolves immediately turned it down. Really? The kid who was an all-star in his 2nd year and the youngest scoring champion since Durant. The current record holder for the most points scored in a single game by an active NBA player. While we don't know all the details behind the Wolves' decision, one thing is clear. By rejecting this trade so decisively, Minnesota firmly believes that Anthony Edwards is, or will be, the better player when it's all said and done. But are they right? Anthony Edwards or Luka Doncic? Who would you rather build around? Since basketball ultimately comes down to putting the ball through the hoop more than the other team, we have to start by comparing their scoring abilities. Ant shoots 58% at the rim, while Luka finishes at an incredible 75% clip, clearly outperforming Edwards in this area. To be fair, some of Ant's finishes are much tougher, but Luka can't be penalized for his ability to create higher percentage looks in the restricted area. In the mid-range, Ant shoots 38%, which isn't much better than the league average, despite what the eye test might suggest. Luka, on the other hand, shoots 45% from mid-range, well above average. Where Ant holds the advantage is from beyond the arc. Here, he is undeniably the better shooter. Edwards got it off in time. Oh, are you kidding me? For the season, Anthony Edwards is shooting a blistering 41% from 3 on 10 attempts per game, an entire 5 percentage points higher than Luka, who was shooting 36% from downtown.
Edwards got it off in time. Oh, are you kidding me?
The way they get their buckets is different, though. Ant's scoring ability is built on his explosive athleticism, blowing by defenders and demoralizing defenses with powerful finishes at the rim. He leverages the defense's fear of his driving ability to create space for his jumpers. Luka's game, on the other hand, relies more on craftiness. His elite step-back jumper forces defenders to respect his shot, opening up clear driving lanes, where he uses footwork rather than athleticism to create separation. As for advanced stats this season, Ant leads Luka in win shares and value over replacement, while Luka holds the edge in box plus-minus. When it comes to clutch performance, the gap between Luka and Ant is astronomical. Luka has been known for his late-game heroics since year one. Step-back threes, dagger shots, and game winners.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, Doncic for the win. Oh yeah! Luka Doncic, the dagger!
You name it, he's done it in the clutch, but Anthony Edwards, oh, he is awful in the clutch.
Gets it away. It's gone! A Doncic dagger! He went to the three. As he was stumbling, he somehow got it to go.
In the final 5 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime, Ant is 0 for 12 on all go-ahead or game-tying field goals, the second most misses without a make by any player since he entered the league. This season hasn't helped either, as he's shooting just 17.2% on three-point attempts in clutch situations.
Elevates, missed it. And for the second time in 8 days.
He's also shooting just 20.5% on twos in those same situations. The good news is that he's only 23 and still has time to improve this glaring weakness in his game. But in the playoffs, where the lights are the brightest and the moments are the biggest, when the game is on the line, I want the ball in Luka's hands, not Anthony Edwards. When it comes to playmaking and court vision, Wonder Boy takes the cake. While Ant-Man has made strides in his growth as a playmaker, he's not a natural at it.
Hit a tough one. Doncic behind the head. Reed wide open.
The man lives to get buckets.
Edwards inside. Great time for the bucket to go there.
And early in his career, it was attack first pass, only if any.
Nasty. I mean, that's all you can say. And Collins shaking up.
But now his assists have climbed to around 5 per game, a massive jump from his rookie year.
It counts, plus the foul.
DTIC is different. Luka doesn't just see the game, he controls it. The dude is an assist factory with eyes at the back of his head.
Well, this Minnesota offense, highly efficient stand here at the start.
Defensively, while the eye test suggests that Ant is the better player, the numbers tell a different story. I literally had to double and triple check the stats to ensure I wasn't hallucinating, and even now I can hardly believe it. Luka's defense has taken a significant step forward this season.
As well, and how open Luka Doncic with a little spice. Come on, although it's right-handed, he did turn around. Nonetheless, that's just incredible.
Last year, his defensive rating was 113.8, showing his ability to shut opponents down. But now he's brought it down to 108.2, which is a significant improvement. Edwards, on the other hand, has always possessed the tools to be an excellent defender. His athleticism, strength, and quickness allow him to stick to the league's best scorers and make their lives miserable. Although his on-ball defense sometimes appears elite, the overall impact numbers tell a different story. This season, his defensive rating is 111.3, which speaks volumes. Luka has been the better defender. Moreover, Luka's 1.4 defensive box plus-minus rating indicates that he's actually an above-average defender this season. While he may not be shutting down every perimeter scorer, he effectively uses his size, positioning, and IQ to influence the game by making smart rotations, contesting shots, and avoiding liabilities. In contrast, Edwards has a defensive box plus-minus rating of 0.2, meaning he's been just slightly below average on that end. That's surprising because his athleticism, strength, and on-ball defense, while on the surface he appears to be a great defender, his defensive box plus-minus suggests he isn't as impactful across all possessions. The argument that Edwards is guarding the league's top players while Luka isn't doesn't hold water. Every team's best player actively hunts for Luka night in and night out. So, although Edwards might look like the better defender, based solely on the eye test, applause, the numbers tell a different story.
by Edwards. And doing everything.
Luka's impact on a possession-by-possession basis has quietly caught up, absolutely insane. But at the end of the day, the Wolves made their choice. Anthony Edwards over Luka Doncic, with no hesitation or second thoughts. Was it the right call? That depends on how you view the future. Luka is already a generational talent, but Edwards is still rising and evolving, and Minnesota has bet its entire future on him. Even with all that confidence, you have to wonder, did Edwards himself feel that same certainty?